So for this video, ang pag-uusapan lang natin ay yung analysis ng steel compression members using NSCP 2015. Specifically yung compressive strength for flexural buckling of members without slender elements. Ang flexural buckling ay ang mode of failure wherein the compression member will fail like a beam. Parang gano'n lang. Pero due to the axial forces, no? Parang ganyan, tapos biglang magbe-bend lang siya, pero ang in-apply lang natin ay axial forces. So, ganun lang mismo. This topic is the most probable topic that we can expect in the board exam kasi ito mismo yung parang kapalit na provisions from NSCP 2001, no? NSCP 2015 kasi yung i-discuss natin ngayon. So, ang isang compression member ay isang structural member wherein it is designed to carry compressive forces. Ang pinaka-common dyan, syempre yung column. Pero marami pang ibang compressive members or compression members. These are the top chord of trusses most of the time, di ba? Kasi nga, pag ayan yung truss, pag nagkaroon ng vertical loads, gaganyan yan, di ba? Eh, compression yung nasa taas na members. Other possible compression members are struts, posts, stanchions, and many more. May alam ba kayong iba pang types ng compression members? Comment down below. So, paano ba natin nalalaman yung compressive strength ng isang compression members? So, let's consider the provision in NSCP. So, let's consider section 505, the design of compression members. So, the design compressive strength, that is P sub C, P sub N, and the allowable compressive strength, that is P sub N over omega C, are determined as follows. So, kita nyo, may P sub N, no? So, yun muna yung isosolve natin kasi the nominal compressive strength. It is determined by obtaining the lowest value according to the three limit states, which are flexural buckling, torsional buckling, and flexural torsional buckling. Pero for doubly symmetric and singly symmetric members, ang kailangan lang nating limit state ay flexural buckling. And ito yung pag-uusapan lang natin for this video kasi ito yung madalas na, or most of the time, na tinatanong sa board exam, diba? Pero let's consider the other one. Singly symmetric and unsymmetric members and certain doubly symmetric members such as the cruciform or built-up columns. Yung limit state naman na i-consider additionally ay yung torsional at flexural torsional buckling. So, yun, no? Kapag doubly symmetric at singly symmetric members, flexural buckling lang ang i-consider. Then, as you may notice, may phi sub C at omega sub C na figures. So, once na may nakita ka ng phi sub C, LRF din na yung gagamitin. And the value of phi for compression members ay 0.9. Yung subscript na C ay compression, syempre. Omega sub C, 1.67. That is for allowable strength design. So, as you may notice, unlike NSCP 2001, dito sa NSCP 2015, ang sinosolve natin ay yung mismong value ng load na i-apply, na pwedeng i-apply sa member. Hindi kagaya ng NSCP 2001, ang sinosolve kasi natin dyan yung stress, di ba? So, yun yung isang pinagkaiba agad ng dalawang NSCP na editions. Depende sa kung anong year. So, for today, itong consider lang natin. Yung doubly symmetric and singly symmetric. Isa lang na provision, no, that is for flexural buckling stress lang. Now, since flexural buckling ang pinag-uusapan natin, we must consider a given quantity, a certain quantity na may malaking effect pagdating sa buckling, and that is the slenderness ratio. So, let's look into section 505.2 dun sa NSCP. Okay, papakita ko lang itong KL over R na quantity. And K is for the reduction factor or additional factor. Basta multiplier siya ng L, which is the unbraced length, no? Laterally unbraced length of member, itong si L, which is the distance between supports, including the lateral support. No? Pero yung lateral support, para lang siya sa minor axis, sa weaker axis. Or depende kung saang axis nilagay yung lateral support. So, doon lang lalabas yung distance na may consideration yung lateral support. Pero pag walang lateral support, so hindi natin consider lateral support, syempre. For the lateral unbraced length, L sub U yan madalas, no? Pero for NSCP 2015, L na lang yung nilagay. that is in millimeters. Kasi nga, for the radius of gyration, millimeters din siya para mag-cancel yung kanilang units, diba? So, itong effective length factor, once na minultiply natin yan sa L, ang makukuha natin ay yung effective length. Yan, KL, diba? And then, may user note sa NSCP. For members designed on the basis of compression, the slenderness ratio preferably should not exceed 200. Para naman hindi gaanong sobra-sobra yung yung pagkaarte ng design natin pagdating sa backlink, di ba? Ano pa ba dito? Yung R, that is the radius of gyration. Di ba may formula yan? That is square root of I over A, wherein I is the moment of inertia, then A is the area. So here are possible values of K na ginagamit natin for the board exam madalas, no? More likely kapag isang column lang yung yung kailangan nating i-analyze. Ayan, ito yung values ng K. Ayan. Check natin yung mga yon. Theoretical value of K for ito, fixed sa top and bottom, 0.5. Theoretical value for K, this one, fixed sa baba, hinge sa taas, so 0.7. Ito naman, fixed sa baba, pero ayan, pwedeng magkaroon ng translation sa taas. Yun nga lang, hindi pwede ang rotation. Kaya sabi niya, rotation is fixed and translation is free. Then next, ito, 1 din ito. That is for hinge yung bottom and top. Diba? Yan. So, next, ito naman, fixed sa baba, tapos free rotation, free translation sa taas, kaya 2. Kasi pwede mong i-reflect yan sa baba para isang buong paganyan na lang yung curve, diba? So, times 2. Ganun din dito sa isa, no? Pag hinge sa baba, tapos fixed rotation, free translation sa taas, 2 din yung K. And then, we also have recommended design values of K. Madalas, ito yung pwedeng gamitin mong value ng K when you are designing compression members. But this is not the only way in determining the value of K. There are also other ways. Some use formulas, some use the alignment chart, diba? But for board exam, na isang column lang naman yung ina-analyze, ito yung madalas na binibigay. And kailangan natin tong i-memorize. Kasi there are times na hindi raw siya binibigay sa problem based sa mga napagtanungan ko. So, yan, no? Mas maganda nang i-memorize natin siya. Kahit yung theoretical values of K lang. Swerte na lang natin kung ibigay yung value ng K sa mismong problem. So, now let's try to look into the provision of NSCP 2015 on how the nominal compressive strength P sub n is determined. Ayan, so ito yung ating provision. The nominal compressive strength P sub n shall be determined based on the limit state of flexural buckling. Madali lang yung basic formula niya, di ba? P sub n equals the flexural buckling stress F sub CR times the gross area. Yan, gross cross-sectional area yan. So yung buong area mismo, cross-sectional area ng column, ay designed para i-resist yung kabuuan ng axial force. So, hindi siya yung i-reduce mo pa. Diba? So, buo, gross area. Etong FCR lang yung kailangan nating isolve. Okay, there are two conditions. First, KL over R, that is less than 4.71 square root of E over Fy. Etong 4.71 square root of E over Fy, ito actually yung katumbas sa C sub C dun sa NSCP 2001. Diba? Ano ba ang C sub C sa NSCP 2001? Diba? Square root of 2 pi squared E over Fy. Yun. And if we compare the two, mas malaki actually yung value na itong 4.71. Okay? Yan. Yun lang naman. When it is less than 4.71 square root of E over Fy, ito yung FCR na gagamitin. And then when it is greater, ito naman yung FCR na gagamitin. So as you may notice, yung first condition, it is in terms of Fy. Ibig sabihin nun, may ambag sa strength ng column or ng compression member yung material strength. Diba? If it is less than or equal to 4.71 square root of E over Fy. Actually, dun sa NSCP 2001, ang tawag dito ay short column. Tama? For the next, kapag greater siya, 0.877 F sub E. Now, ano ba tong F sub E? Sabi dito sa ating code, this is pi squared E over KL over R squared. So, actually, ito yung galing sa Euler's theory on columns, di ba? So, ito yung critical buckling stress. Yun lang. So, times 0.877, dun sa NSCP 2001, 12 over 23 yung gamit. So, ito ngayon yung bago sa NSCP 2015. Okay, pero yung F sub E, hindi yan nagbago. Pi squared E over KL over R squared lang ever since. Ito na yun. Diba? Now, let's try to apply these concepts in solving problems na similar to past board exam problems. So, let's have this problem. Yan, similar to November 2019 board exam problem siya. Given the following properties of angular sections, yan, we have one angle, 100 mm by 16 mm. We have the gross area, 2,974 square millimeters. R sub x equals R sub y, that is 30.5. So, parehas na equal yung radius of gyration ng ating angular section when it comes to the x and y axis. Ibig sabihin, symmetric yung ating angle, di ba? Pero since single angle to, when you try to look into the table of section properties na single angle, hindi lang Rx at Ry yung makikita natin. Meron din yung minimum radius of gyration. Ito mismo, R sub z. Yan. Kasi nga, yung maximum and minimum moment of inertia ng isang angular section, hindi mo makikita sa mismong x and y axis. Inclined yung axis ng minimum moment of inertia. And yun, doon makukuha yung minimum radius of gyration. If it is used as a column pinned at both ends, and F sub y equals 345 megapascals, ayan no, pinned at both ends. So ano ba yung value ng K? Theoretically, 1, di ba? So 1 na yung gamitin natin. Determine the allowable compressive strength in kilonewton given that the length of the column is 5 meters. So muna natin si number 1, no? 5 meters daw yung ating length. 5 meters. Tapos, yan, syempre, K is 1. And then, yung radius of gyration, dalawa yung values. We will use yung 3, syempre. Pero since parehas namang value ng Rx and Ry, kahit kunin lang natin yung isa. So, let's say R sub x, 30.5. Yan. Makukuha natin dyan yung slenderness ratio. Diba? KL over R. We have 1 times 5,000 millimeters all over 30.5 millimeters. So, ang nakuha nating sagot sa ating slenderness ratio using the radius of gyration na 30.5 ay approximately 163.934. Now, let's check for R sub z. Kasi, pwede ba naman, no ba? Pero, we expect that this will be the governing critical slenderness ratio dahil nga, mas maliit yung value ng R. We have KL over R ng 20 millimeters. So, we have 5,000 millimeters. We have the radius of gyration na 20 millimeters. So, approximately, the value is 250. So, yan yung slenderness ratio. So, pansin nyo, no? Mas malaki na siya sa 200. Pero, syempre, alangan namang magreklamo ka pa na bakit greater than 200 to. So, panindigan na lang natin na 250 yung ating slenderness ratio na mag-govern. So, this is the maximum. So, ito yung gagamitin natin in analyzing the given column. Okay. So, check natin yung 4.71 square root of E over Fy. Yan. So, 4.71 square root of E over Fy. We have, direct sub lang, di ba? 4.71 square root ng, ano yung E? Di ba? 200,000 megapascals. Ano yung Fy? Yield strength. Given 345 megapascals. Okay, kunin lang natin sa ating calculator and the value is 113.403. So, ito yung ating critical slenderness ratio. Obviously, mas malaki si KL over R. Greater than 4.71. Square root of E over Fy. So, ano yung FCR natin? That is 0.877 ng F sub E. Okay? F sub E. Pero solve muna natin yung F sub E. That is pi squared E all over KL over R squared. Yan. Alam naman na natin yung ibang values dyan. Pi squared E is 200,000 all over 250. Yan yung KL over R, di ba? 250 squared. So, Fe is approximately 31.583 megapascals. So, ang ating critical buckling stress ay 0.877 times 31.583, and ang value niyan ay 27.698 megapascals. So, ito na yung ating FCR pa lang. And makukuha na natin yung ating P sub N. P sub N is equal to, since nakuha na natin yung FCR, we have 27.698 megapascals times yung ating area. That's 2974. Divided by 1,000 para maging kilonewton yung ating answer. At ang ating value in kilonewton is 82.374 kilonewton. So, ang ating allowable compressive strength, Pn over omega C. And that is 82.374 divided by 1.67. So, our final answer is 49.33 kilonewton. So, ito yung ating allowable compressive load. So, let's have the next problem. Determine the design compressive strength in kilonewtons given that the length of the column is 2.2 meters. So, nag-iba lang yung ating length, no? So, shorter siya. So, baka may chance na yung less than na provision yung gagamitin natin. Yung KL over R less than 4.71 and the like, no? So, try natin. KL over R. So, ano yung magiging values? Of course, K is still 1. L now is 2,200 millimeters. Tapos yung ating radius of gyration, since kanina, ang nag-govern ay gamit yung minimum radius of gyration, edi yun na rin yung gamitin natin. 20 millimeters. So if we try to solve this one, the value is 110. So yan yung ating slenderness ratio. Let's check for 4.71 square root of E over Fy. Kasi nga ito yung critical, no? So dito natin malalaman kung ano yung formula ng FCR na magagamit. So yan, substitute mo ulit. 4.71 square root ng 200,000 megapascals all over 345 megapascals. Actually, ang sagot dito, syempre same din dun sa kanina, that's approximately 113, di ba? 0.40. So, yun, short nga. KL over R less than 4.71 square root of E over Fy. So, therefore, ang gagamitin nating FCR ay yung 0.658 raised to Fy over Fe times Fy. So, solve muna natin si F sub E. And that is pi squared E over KL over R squared. Ayan, so substitute. Pi squared times E is 200,000 megapascals all over, ano yung ating slenderness ratio? 110 squared. So the value is approximately 163.13 megapascals. So yun na yung gagamitin natin para sa formula. FCR equals 0.658 raised to, ayan, Fy over Fe. 345 over Fe. 163.13 times Fy, which is 345. Okay, so yan, calculate na lang natin. FCR is equal to 142.36 megapascals. Okay, so yeah, makukuha na natin si P sub n. We have, yan, 142.36 times the gross area, 2974, divided by 1,000 para ang sagot natin ay in kilonewtons, di ba? Yun lang siya, 2974. So the value in kilonewtons of the allowable compressive load is 423.39 kilonewtons. Now ang tinatanong, design compressive strength. So that is P sub U, or that is phi P sub N. Ang value ng phi ay 0.9. So therefore, 0.9 ng 423.39 is equal to 381.05 kilonewtons. So ito na yung ating design compressive load. Yan. Design compressive strength. Last problem, we have determine the maximum length of the column if it is to be designed on the basis of compression. Diba sabi dun sa provision kanina, yung KL over R dapat ay preferably should not exceed 200. So 200. Diba? So para makuha natin yung critical length, that is KL over R, equate natin sa 200. Of course, alam naman na natin yung value ng K. Diba? K is 1. Length is, we don't know. All over, ano yung R? Yung minimum. Diba? Minimum. Equal na ngayon sa 200. So from there, makukuha natin yung length. That is 20 times 200 divided by 1. Or that is 4,000 millimeter. Siyempre, kailangang meters yung ating answer. So, L equals 4 meters. Ayun lang. O, diba? Mas madali pa yung last na, na question kaysa dun sa naunang dalawa. Pero, yeah. In case na may lumabas ulit na ganito yung problem. So, ito lang kasimple yung solution kapag length ng column yung pinapahanap. As long as it is to be designed on the basis of compression. Ngayon, try nyo to. So, this problem is, again, similar to a past board exam problem. Hindi ba ko lang yung mga situation. No? Pero, try this problem on your own. And then, you comment down your answers or you want to share your solutions. Comment down below. Share this to your friends if you want to ask the answer or solution. Or if you want to discuss with your friends. Share this video and along with this problem. Follow me on my socials. Nakalagay naman dyan sa baba. And follow, of course, this channel. And that's it for me today. I hope may naintindihan kayo when it comes to the analysis, basic analysis of steel compression members. Thank you for listening and ingat kayong lahat.